Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my group's presentation. First of all, please lend me your ears and your attention for today. As the group that is consists of 10 members, Ms. Satore, Mr. Tandang, Ms. Villasilio, Ms. Undra, Mr. Ulanday, Mr. Harvey, Ms. Tronzon, Mr. Zapanta, Ms. Salvacion, and lastly, one of the handsome politician is myself, Mr. Bong Revi. Ah, just kidding. Just kidding. Lastly is myself, Mr. Matsumoto. Mr. Ranzon will continue for our introduction. Mr. Ranzon,
Thank you for that energetic introduction, Mr. Matsumoto. Now let's proceed in introducing the campaign design you are all seeing in the slide right now. So our group searched for many campaign design related to the upcoming 2022 election. It is not easy to choose which is the best because sobrang daming magagandang campaign design na available in the internet. But in the end, one caught our attention the most and we consider different factors why we choose this campaign design. And it will be explained by my co-members starting with Ms. Satore.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. So one of the reasons why we think that this is the best campaign design is because of the way they consider the basic principle and different elements in making it, like the principle of making it, like the principle of balance. The artwork uses symmetrical balance as it was achieved by arranging elements on either side of the center of a composition in an equally weighted manner. Lenny Robredo is placed in the center. Mapapansin niyo din na sa kanya nakasuotan ay naka-mirrored yung design sa kanan at kaliwa. Pati na rin ang kanyang mga elements na ginamit sa kanyang background, which means nasunod ang principle na the elements used on the side of the design are similar to those on the other side.
Thank you, Ms. Satori. Another reason why we chose this photo as the best campaign design is because of the vibrant colors it shows and how every element is contrasted in the photo. The vibrant colors applied to every object seen in the photo can catch the viewer's eyes quickly and is very appealing to the eyes. The saturation in the colors adds a very interesting aesthetic and you can determine every object on it based on how contrasted the objects are from the background. The contrast shows the important details, especially Lenny Robredo's image color, contrasting the background and the meaning that the image wants to show to the viewers.
Thank you, Ms. Albacian. At a first glance, aside from noticing the excellent combination of color, we can also notice the pattern of some details in Lenny's cloth and the roses in the background. Repetition of multitude design elements working together increases the visual excitement of the viewer. We can also feel the rhythm in this work of art as the elements of design are used repeatedly to create a feeling of organized movement, and also rhythm that creates a mood like music while viewing the image.
Thank you, Ms. Salvacion. This campaign design also considers the principle of space, as it uses positive and negative space to make it even better. Lenny is represented as positive space, while her background serves as a negative space. You can also see positive and negative space in the design of her clothes. That is the reason why we choose this as the best campaign design.
Thank you for that, Ms. Transon. And now for the unity and variety which this material possesses. We can see different patterns among Lenny's different layers of clothes that is somewhat akin sa mga weaving or engraving patterns sa ating bansa. Makikita natin yung anim na distinct patterns. In a sense, sila ay various different patterns but is still unified under having inspiration from traditional weaving patterns sa Pilipinas. There is also unity in this picture, but not the kind of unity na motto ng kabilang panig, pero sa iba't ibang layers si Lenny ay sa picture ito ay unified being under Filipino folk weaving patterns and the thematic of the foreground being floral. To be specific, a rose, which is her campaign symbol, and even her tagline na magiging kulay rosas ang bukas.
So when it comes to interpreting and understanding the message of the design wanted to convey, we are also amazed on how every tiny detail contains a great message, as you can see in the patterns of your clothes. So the thorns on Lenny's blazer can represent overcoming difficulties and making a sacrifice, as we can see that Lenny has been seen fighting against negativity from individuals online and wanting to improve the Philippines. So the flames would represent the destructive personalities of others as well as her own burning passion to serve the people. The thorns, flames, and ice pattern together on her blazer could indicate that she is carrying the weight of the contempt she receives from other Filipinos, and her color square pattern can represent balance, law, and order. So in some ways, she promises Filipinos that they can rest assured of security and integrity in her hands.
Thank you, Miss Jill Rosilio. As for the rosas that have an eye na makikita din natin sa image, we can interpret it also as we know that the magiging kulay rosas ang bukas, which is a metaphor to a bright future described as a rose color. Ang mata na ito ay masasabi nating supporters hoping for that kulay rosas na future for the Philippines, which they believe that is bright and prosperous and can be achieved with the leadership of Leni Robredo. As you can also see, all the eyes are pointing at her, which means all eyes are on her, or in simple terms, a lot of people are behind her, or in their sense, everyone in the battle for the rosy future of the Philippines.
Thank you, Ms. Villalcillo and Mr. Ulanday. So overall, the different principles and elements the campaign design contains help us understand and interpret the artwork. This campaign design for Lenny Robredo really shows what her character is which serves its purpose. Kasi 'di ba ang purpose naman ng campaign design is to catch the attention of the people, promote the candidate, and emphasize the campaign message. The campaign design that we choose fulfill all of these things that make us say that this design is the best. And I would like to end our presentation with the quote that somewhere inside of all of us is the power to change the country and even the world. Kaya sa darating na halalan, bumoto tayo ng kandidato na may malasakit at plano sa bawat Pilipino. Bumoto ng tama, iboto ang tama at huwag maging panatiko. Vote wisely. Thank you and God bless.